Right, welcome everybody to another edition of the Connection Hangout. Tonight is the Doctor's Connection. All right, my name is Paul Tyra, and I'm joined by my co-host once again in Marietta, Georgia. Welcome, David Asardo. How's it going, David?
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Super. Enjoying your summer?
I am. Having a fantastic time.
All right. Super. We've got an exciting guest tonight. But as a couple reminders here, the Connection Hangout, this is not a product or business presentation. If you'd like more detailed information about ASEA or Renew and 28 Renew Advanced, please get back to the person who invited you to this broadcast. The Connection Hangout is designed to connect you to real people getting real results. We have everyone from athletes to doctors, corporate executives, ASEA Diamonds, and industry professionals that chime in to give you some insight on how ASEA is working in the real world. If you'd like to chime in and let us know where you're viewing from, we'd love to hear from you. Just go down to the comment section below. We may not be able to answer or respond during the show, but we'll check in from time to time in between episodes. All right, so what I'd like to do, without any further ado, is to pass it over to David to introduce tonight's special guest.
Paul, I couldn't be more excited to introduce today's guest. I know it's been a year since we've had him on, and he's become one of my best friends, Dr. Dan Pompa. Now, Dr. Pompa, I've witnessed him over the years literally change people's lives. He is the founder of a True Cellular Detox, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. He's also the co-founder of Revelation Health and Health Centers of the Future. Now, Dr. Pompa works with clients all over the world, helping them overcome the challenges that they've had, helping the body heal itself naturally through our God-given ability, and redox signaling technology, and ASEA happens to be a cornerstone piece of what he's utilizing, as well as with the many practitioners that he trains around the world. So welcome back to our Connection Hangout, Dr. Pompa.
Well, I didn't realize we had that many people on the call. I mean, that applause was amazing.
It's for all the people who are watching us live and those who will be watching the recording and the podcast as well. Now, I personally know that you've been up to some amazing things over the past year since you've been on the Hangout. Do you want to share some of those?
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned True Cellular Detox. Obviously, for many, many years I've been teaching doctors my protocols as far as, cellular healing and cellular detox, and it's caught on across the planet. But we really, just in the last year, launched the True Cellular Detox program, which I would say it's a more simplified version of what doctors can plug and play, so to speak, into their practice and provide, real detox at the cellular level. And David, this thing's caught on like gangbusters. And I honestly believe it's because the need is so great, right now, for really getting to the cause of why people truly don't feel well. And that's what cellular detox does.
And you have a program called the 5 R's. Is that has been developed and sort of fine-tuned since last year as well?
Yeah, I think last year we talked about the 5 R's, right? The 5 R's really is a roadmap of really developed it to how to teach doctors on what to do. This is why the cell is malfunctioning. This is why people don't feel well. This is why people aren't getting well today, despite all the great things that they may do. And the 5 R's is really become the roadmap to how to fix a cell and how to detox a cell. So when we look at True Cellular Detox, I always say real detox or cellular detox, there's 3 components that make it up. The 5 R's is the first component, meaning that if we don't get the cell functioning, doing what it does naturally, you have to understand, when the cell has to detox naturally, otherwise it will die. But today, the bombardment of neurotoxins, these toxins that come in to the cell, disrupt the cell. The natural detox pathways are being literally overwhelmed. And so everybody's downstream, whether it's a colon cleanse or this cleanse or that cleanse, trying to figure out the problem, when really we have to get the cell doing what it's meant to do. Even when the cell makes energy, Paul, just ATP, so you can think, feel good, have a normal day of energy without stimulants, it makes waste. when the cell starts to malfunction, it can't even get rid of its own waste. The example is if you burned a log in the middle of your house without a chimney, you would die. So imagine your cells that way, right? However, if we can get the cell doing what it naturally does, it's like opening up the damper. It gets rid of it, right? And we live happily ever after, and we have warmth and heat and energy. But the point is the 5 R's gets that normal cell function going, which is really the heart of what real detox is.
Super. So with regards to this true cellular detox, what type of role does ASEA play in that?
Well, I mean, look, my doctors that I've trained over the years have used ASEA. David, you were at my last event, and it was a room full of 200 some doctors, and I didn't even provoke the testimonies that came out. Do you remember that? Sue Brenchley was, I think she was out of the room, and I was like, you better go get Sue Brenchley, because I'm telling you, it just came out. I don't even remember how it came out, David. Maybe you do, but one doctor stood up and he gave testimony to ASEA. Another doctor stood up, gave testimony, and it went on, and it literally went on. And the reason is, Paul and David, you know this. We see the worst of the worst. We see the unexplainable. We see people who have been already through the medical field, already have done most natural things as well. Redox is a cornerstone for not just detoxification, but really even how hormones communicate to the cell, cell-to-cell communication. Every process of cell function leans on redox. So it really is very difficult if you're going to detox a cell, get the cell functioning, which is the key, to getting people feeling better. I always say if you don't fix the cell, you won't get well. Redox is at the cornerstone, and that's why it's popular amongst my doctors.
Awesome, thank you, Dr. Pompa. Now, you have an amazing family. You have lots of kids, and you have a summer passion. So last time I think we spoke was the end of the ski season, and we were talking a lot about skiing. Why don't you share with our viewers what your summer passion is?
Yeah, mountain biking, cycling. Yeah, no, it is my passion. Oddly enough, and I don't know that I've ever told this story on your show, but that's how I really came to ASEA some years ago. It must have been within the first year ASEA was launched, and I had read a study. I saw some people using it in the cycling world, and then I read a study about how it raises VO2 max, and it sparked my interest. And it really, and then I started reading about other things, and my wife, who had a very high lead level, actually started using it, and it made a massive difference for her right away, just from some of her symptoms that she had. And I said, well, I'm going to use it for the cycling, and I started using it. I got an amazing result, right? Well, David knows me, right? So if I got a little, then I went even overboard, and I started just putting it down very quickly. And my result went to some detox symptoms. We'll put it that way, mildly. And so I literally, like so many people, I looked at it and was like, it must be this, chloride. It must be too toxic for my body. At a certain point, it went from a good thing to I thought I was drinking pool water, and I really didn't understand the science. It wasn't until years later that David really brought it back to me, right? And I insisted on talking to the scientists involved, and he hooked me up with Dr. Samuelson, and we sat down for a few hours. And it really took that and getting into the lab to understand more about the science of it. And redox was really new at the time, and then it just kind of sparked an interest in me to start researching redox more. And since then, we have been, not just myself, but like I said, my doctors have been using redox technology now, and it's been a game changer for us. So yeah, mountain biking, my passion, but also led me to ASEA, oddly enough. And David, I don't know if you asked that question to tell that story, but that's the truth. So
that's awesome. So now that you have been working with it, not just yourself taking it now personally for a number of years, but with your own patient database as well, Again, we are not claiming any health claims here or ASEA curing, treating, or preventing any illness or disease. But can you share maybe some highlights of some of your own personal experiences with people that you've had put on ASEA?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many. Matter of fact, it was just this week that I was saying, okay, this is one of my clients. I said, okay, let's try dropping the dose a little bit. She was doing 4 ounces twice a day, and she said, no, I'm not. I've tried to drop the dose, and literally her energy every time she does, her energy drops. As a matter of fact, ASEA allows her to exercise. Her cellular energy, because she's very, very toxic, was so bad that she was not able to exercise. ASEA allowed her to start to exercise, and now she's gone beyond exercise to where she has energy throughout her day. So, I was trying to, let's see, I was going to try to, cut this down, add this, etc. She would not allow me to cut it down. I just thought of another testimony, actually, one that was given by one of our practitioners, Dr. Randy, and he does triathlons and a lot of endurance stuff, right? That testimony.
I heard the testimony on Voxer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, David could literally play it, but ASEA has transformed. His times have dropped massively. And it does that for athletes. So I just went to 2 ends of the spectrum. How it really affects athletic performance. So it makes the healthy healthier, or at least perform better. I'll say that at the cellular level, as far as how the cells process oxygen, etc. And it makes someone who is not well able to exercise. I think that is the astounding part of redox technology. Redox doesn't heal anybody. It allows the body to do the healing. So, when I see so many conditions of autoimmune today. And one of the big problems with autoimmune is that the immune system is very confused. There's so many aspects to autoimmune. But we see an amazing result when you add redox into these people. The body now is able to find a different balance. So again, redox signaling doesn't heal autoimmune. Redox signaling allows the body to figure it out. Because in autoimmune, the body's attacking itself, which is, and again, not to get into the science of what's going on there. However, redox molecules make a massive difference in allowing the body to find what we call homeostasis, or balance. And really, the balance and homeostasis is the key to health. When someone starts to get unhealthy, we see them not adapting. Their cells are not adapting, and we start manifesting symptoms we don't like. When someone starts moving towards beyond health and even to the best performance, in the case of we're watching these athletes in Rio, we see cells that adapt to stress very quickly. They recover very quickly. When we look at the research on redox, we know that it is redox that helps this adaptation. So it can help the person who's struggling and the person who wants to perform better and adapt faster. And really, athletic performance is all about adaptation. You don't get stronger in the gym. You get stronger when you recover. Those who recover faster win faster. So, or win, period. So, redox technology now is really being studied, on both ends of the spectrum, and it's one of the things I really love about it.
You actually brought up a point that I don't
What's that, David?
I said you brought up a point that most people don't really talk about much. You said getting better. I'll summarize it. Getting better is about the recovery, and most people think that it's all about the training and training harder in the gym and everything. And it is about the recovery. It's about the sleep. And one of the things that ASEA and redox enables you is to recover so much faster.
Yeah. Well, it's true. For multiple reasons. It really is about your innate intelligence that's in all of us, right? And that intelligence at the cellular level is really what allows the body to go through these processes that probably we don't even understand yet. But when we look at its upregulation of glutathione, which is the cell's the most, it's the strongest antioxidant in the body, it has to upregulate that, something called SOD. We know redox plays a role in both of those pathways that are tied to adaptation, tied to recovery, as well. And again, when you look at someone who's challenged and sick, they really have low glutathione and SOD. So when we look at what's happening at the cell, we have to understand redox plays a major role in what the cell should be doing naturally to recover. And again, not just recover, like I mentioned, this person over here was not even able to work out because they couldn't recover. They were left very, very challenged, with no energy, less sleep. By the way, that was me when I was sick some years ago. I went from an athlete who was, racing a bike at the expert level to a guy who couldn't even ride or walk down the road and back. I would be left exhausted, and I would have insomnia at night. So what I teach today really came out of my own battle. So I know what it's like to be on this side. Of course, now I'm on this side. But again, it's redox plays a role in both sides.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Pompa. Well, any final thoughts you would like to leave our viewers with?
One thought I was just thinking, as Paul asked me the question of, different, cases, Renew. I can't tell you, Renew 28, how many people are just absolutely hooked on that product because of what it's done for them. And most of my clients are hooked on it not because they see the difference in the wrinkles in their skin, but because they have skin issues expressing from a body that's unhealthy. And Renew makes a major, major difference. Here you go, Paul. This week, another one. This woman had these horrible open sores on her legs, and I suggested Renew. And she used it, and it made a massive difference within 1 day, 24 hours. And you have to understand, she had tried everything, and she thanked me, so much when I got on the phone with her, and I told her via email, hey, try this, and she tracked it down, and she got it because she's from a different country, and it worked tremendous. So there you have it.
Fantastic. That's great. And I'm glad you mentioned, Renew 28. I wasn't sure exactly how much you were putting that in your practice there, but it's good to hear.
I do know his wife Marilee uses a lot of it.
Yeah, she does. By the way, my kids do. And again, I'm not claiming this for this. However, my kids, teenagers, acne, they are addicted to Renew. And my son, who just got back from Mount Hood ski racing, he was downing the ASEA every day. Again, why? Recovery. That's that was the reason. But all of my teenagers use the Renew on their skin. Matter of fact, David, that's why it goes out, and I get so mad in my own house. So again, Renew doesn't fix acne. Redox makes the body work better. So, anyways, obviously, we understand that, but I want our viewers to understand that as well.
Super, super. Well, thanks so much, Dr. Dan. I really appreciate you being with us here today. And of course, as always, thanks to my co-host there, David Sarno. Thanks, David.
And thank you to Paul Tyra for being our chief architect.
All right, thanks everyone out there for tuning in once again. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of the week, and I'll see you later. Take care, everybody.
Bye.